Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Essie and I teach you beginner friendly makeup to make it look professional. So stay tuned to see how I achieved this look. So before I start my base routine, I start off with a skin prep. Now my skin has been prepped, but I'm still going to go in with my moisturizer. And this is the Isntree Hyaluronic Acid Moist Cream. So before I go into doing my base, I like to tint my brows. And normally I would use the Zaron Brow Band Brow Gel. But this does not give me the whole I want. So I go in with Golibe and my spoolie and just brush that through my brows. Now I know I'm about to say something very controversial, but I don't prime my face. But today I'm going to be priming and I'm using the Zaron Oil Block Mattifier. This is a matte primer. I'm just gonna let that dry down before I put my foundation. What I normally use is the Classic Makeup Pro Ultra Wear foundation. I'm going to be alternating that for my palette. This is the Zikel X Golibe palette. Basically, this is what the palette looks like. So basically, you apply your foundation and you avoid your under eye because you're going to leave that part for concealer. Now for concealer, we're going to be using two shades, and these are the shades we're using. These are the Zikel HD Lightweight Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer. So your concealer placement is very, very important, let me tell you guys. Now because we're trying to get a lifted look and we want our face snatched, we'll place our concealer like this. It's very important. I like to drag my blush upwards in a circular motion like this. Now for contour, I like to use this darkest shade and I'm light-handed with it as well. So from your hairline down. And we don't want to drag it all the way to your cheekbones, just here is enough. Now to blend out the concealer, I have this brush. It is a dense brush. Of course, you're just tapping and trying to spread it out, as you can see. Now from here, we're just going to take it from the bottom and spread it, walk our way in to the inner corner. You'll see. So I like to blend out my contour with this fluffy brush just to disperse it properly. So we're going to go in with the blush brush and we're just going to use the residue and lift the blush up to, the cheekbones. Someone said I have blush blindness and she is not wrong. You can see. Now for the nose contour, of course, same brush, just this part and marry it. Now I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender and just dab everything. This is one technique I like to do, and I don't think a lot of people know how effective a beauty blender is when it comes to like blending your makeup. Basically, we're just dabbing over everything. So now we're just going to go in with that brighter shade I told you about. We're just going to use it in the inner corners because I love a bright under eye. And we're just gonna let this sit and I will be right back. So to blend out the concealer, I'm going to be using this brush instead, and we're just going to be starting from the inner corners and blending that out. What we're doing is we're dabbing it. We're not spreading, we're dabbing. Can you see that? So we're going to do that on the other side, and we're going to go back in with the beauty blender to marry it into each other. So to set my face, I like to go in with the Zaron Oil Control Mineral Loose Powder, and this has SPF 30 in it. Basically, I just like to use the same concealer brush to lightly tap. Now I like to go back in with my powder puff. As you can see, there's powder on it, but you don't dab this on your skin. You do this, soften it up, then you dab. Now I just use the remnant to set the rest of my face, of course. Now you guys, because we're setting and not baking, I like to dust this off almost immediately with my powder brush. I just dust it off. Now for my inner corner, I like to go in with the Benai banana powder. Now we're gonna leave this to bake, and I'm gonna do my eye look. So before I do my eyeshadow, I like to do my brows first, and I'm going to be using I think this is Davis. Honestly, I don't know what pencil this is, but this is light brown, and I'm going to be using it to outline my brows. Now to conceal my brows, I'm going to be using the Zikel X Golibe palette, and I'm basically going to be using my foundation shade, which is this shade here. To conceal my under eye, rather than going in with the regular concealer shade, what I did is I scooped a bit of this pink and mixed it with white to get that light pink shade that you saw. So basically this is it. So this is the pink, and I'm going to use that to conceal the bottom part of my brows. So I'm going to be going on with my eyeshadow primer, and this is the Classic Makeup eyeshadow primer. For eyeshadow, we're going to be using the Blossom Makeup African Queen palette. This is one of my favorite palettes, you guys. I mean, if you're a beginner, you need this. Because we have a pink base, we're going to be going in with this bright pink. This is the Sakinat shade, and we're just going to be going in with that under the brow. So I'm just going to cut my crease with the eyeshadow primer that I used earlier. Of course, I'm using an angled brush for this one. Now I'm going to be taking a flat brush, and I'm using the yellow shade, which is shade Fatima. Of course, with a clean flat brush again, we're going to go in with the shade Aisha, which is the orange shade, and we're going to use it for the outer corner. I'm going to be taking a clean precision brush to just blend everything together. Now I'm going to be taking a white liquid liner, and this is the Carrot white liquid liner, and I'm just going to use that to define the crease that I drew earlier. Now I'm going to be lining my eyes. So I'm just doing a very little wing. Now it's time to apply the lashes. Now for my bottom lashes, I'm going to be using the Zaron Lengthening Mascara. For powder, I like to use a powder palette rather than a compact powder because this gives me option. I'm using the Eyebrow powder palettes, and I'm basically going to be going in with the shade 20 to dust off the under eyes and basically powder the rest of my face. Now I'm going to be using my orange and pink blush, and I'm basically going to mix it. So I have orange in here, you know, to blend it with the eyeshadow, and pink on the outer corner. Now the pink blush, take this, dust off a little, and just here. And I like to do a little on my nose, of course. Of course, I'm going to be using a powder contour. So with the same brush I used earlier, I'm going to be taking the darkest shade of my Eyebrow palette, which is the shade 30, and I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to dust it off a little and contour. I'm going to finish up with the Kiss Beauty Makeup Fix It Spray. So I'm going to let this dry down, and I will come back and do my lip combo. Now I'm going to highlight with this. Now for lip combo, we're going to be doing a nude pink lip, and I'm going to be using this shade. So I'm going to be lining my lips with this. Now I'm going in with the Adventure Makeup Gloss in 8030. Next, I'm going in with the Kiss Beauty Nude. And lastly, I'm using the Adventure Makeup Long Lasting Lip Gloss in AD40, and this is a pink shade.
This is the finished look, you guys. Tell me what you think about this look in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.